My name's Austin Green, and this is my personal coaching model. It's called the L.I.F.E coaching model. So as a student and lifelong learner, I've been training and developing others since at least my teenage years in gaming and the martial arts. Now actually this model was almost called the L.I.F.E model. After careful consideration, it was decided that L.I.F E model was a better option for the professional world than the L.I.F E model. Now my real coaching skills developed when I was employed as an admissions advisor in higher education. Here I had to develop the ability to connect and establish rapport with a variety of demographics of people and help them not only decide but to transition through a major phase of their life for their own reasons and for their own motivations. And because of my varied background, my coaching model is very flexible. So one area that I might move into in the future is creating a coaching organization where I'm able to combine my MBA with leadership and lead a group of coaches with different areas of expertise to build client bases where they're able to help a variety of people with a simple yet flexible underlying coaching framework. Now, L.I.F.E as a coaching model is based on the integrative and goal-focused approach to coaching. Like that model of coaching, it focuses on identifying the issue, setting a goal, developing an action plan, taking action, evaluating progress, and adjusting action based on the evaluations until the goal is met. And the L.I.F.E coaching model is a little bit different in the sense that it asks the coachee to first look at themselves and also look at what coaching is, and look to establish a relationship with their coach so that will allow coaching to occur. The L.I.F.E coaching model is similar to the FUEL model, as they're both focused on framing the conversation, showing the gap between the current and future state, and laying out an action plan to get there. Now, this is each phase of the L.I.F.E coaching model. It starts with the look phase, it moves on to the identify phase, we then go on to the find phase, and finally we reach the evaluate phase. So let's take a look at these individuals. In the look phase, the coach and coachee go through an interview process to understand where they're coming from and what the expectations are. Now this is to frame the interaction and to begin to build a coaching relationship. It's easier when both parties share what they expect and learn how to communicate with each other. As we are coaching adults, the relationship should be mutually satisfying and built on mutual respect, mutual trust, and freedom of expression. In the look phase, we also come to understand what coaching is and is not. While we do use psychology in coaching, we're not doing therapy, and it's an important distinction. An outcome of coaching is sustained performance and autonomy. This is important for both parties to be aware of and serves as a foundation to building a satisfying coaching relationship. The look phase is also where the coachee begins to become aware of themselves via assessments. It's important to reinforce the idea that people exist beyond the borders of what assessments can show, and that the assessment should provide awareness to oneself and not become a label for oneself. And by the end of the look phase, both parties should agree to continue the enrollment process into the identify phase. Now, in the identify phase, the coach and coachee will look at the current and desired situations. Now, this will help each party to gain awareness and clarity about what is happening and the impact of that situation. It's good to find out what's going well in the current situation and what can be improved upon. It is important to understand how the coachee views their current situation, gaining clarity about their perspective and asking how they feel about it. Asking questions to get greater insight and to reveal any underlying beliefs or mental models that may drive that person's behavior. Then have the coachee describe their desired destination. This helps them to see what success actually looks like, including details, as the more detailed the description is, the more real it becomes. This provides not only clarity about the desired state and vision, it also sets up the gap and will ultimately create the framework for the action plan. Now it becomes important to understand the purpose of change and what the transition will mean, what will be different, and why that matters. It's important to keep drilling down on the why, and there's a tool for being able to do that. It's called the 5 levels of why. Now this is important from a commitment standpoint, as it's what drives the coachee to become self-generating and to complete the goal that they set out for themselves. Why the desired state is important and what it will help them to accomplish will help them if they get stuck or if they go off course. In the find step, the coachee discovers the changes that need to be made in order to get to the desired goal. Now here is where the coachee lays out a plan to bridge the gap. The more detail in the action plan, the easier the evaluate step will be. The plan should be detailed enough to clarify exactly what needs to happen at each step. The purpose of the coachee creating an action plan creates the drive and accountability to taking the action. There should be milestones, a time frame, and a clear connection between the actions and reaching the goal. And at the end of this part, the coachee will begin taking actions towards getting to their desired destination. In the evaluate phase, we look at the actions that were taken. We try to get data, quantitative and qualitative, and this enables more objective decision making. We can evaluate the ground that was covered, the decisions that were made, and the value that was added. There are adjustments that are made based on the result and the progress made towards the goal. The coachee learns to become aware of their actions and their results, and they learn how to self-correct. We look to understand from the coachee what was helpful about the coaching process. We also look to understand what was difficult and what they would like to be different in the future. A major facet of the evaluate step is the reward system, and we look at the rewards not only as a way to remain engaged in the process, but also to be grateful for the action that we're taking and to facilitate positive emotional reinforcement towards the work that it takes in order to actually get to the goal. Here we'll see some of the coaching theories, models, and tools that I took into account when making this model. One of them is the growth-oriented view of the person. And people can take their knowledges, skills, and abilities and experiences to move forward and grow. The coach is there to facilitate the client's own natural potential for growth. The process of coaching is essentially about helping individuals regulate and direct their interpersonal and interpersonal resources to better attain their goals. The core constructs of goal-directed self-regulation are a series of processes in which the individual sets a goal, develops a plan of action, begins action, monitors their performance, evaluates their performance by comparison to a standard, and based on the evaluation, changes their actions to further enhance their performance and better reach their goals. And in relation to coaching, the coach's role is to facilitate the coachee's movement through that cycle. Another key thing that I took into consideration was positive psychology, and the heart of positive psychology, like coaching, lies in the practitioner's choice to shift attention away from pathology and pain and direct it toward a clear-eyed concentration on strength, vision, and dreams. That's the L.I.F.E model in a nutshell. Thank you for taking the time, and you can check out the resources and references if you want to take a further look into what went into making this model.